now that I got my arrows all cut, squared, I got my inserts glued in now, and I have my knock bushings pressed in with a baggie to keep them in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them on my straightness dial indicator again, and ideally I would want, if I had a spine finder, that's what I'd be using, but since I don't and don't want to spend the $300 to get one, basically what I do on my arrows is I just set them up here in the middle, and I go to the highest spot on the arrow, and that's where I'm going to mark with my silver Sharpie, and that's where I'm going to align my cock vane, because the concept is when you're pulling against the curve, it's harder to pull, just like if you were pulling on a bar or something, anything. It's harder to pull against the curve than with the curve. So 90% of the time that lines up with the stiff side of the arrow. So I can line that up, and I'm pretty close, if not right on all the time, to having the stiff side of my arrow up, which is what you want. That's going to tune the best and the most consistent for you. And that way, like I said, this whole process is trying to eliminate flyers, so all your arrows shoot exactly the same. This is just going to do that for you a little bit easier and quicker. And you can verify this by shooting bare shafts through paper, and that's going to show you any differences you might have between arrows. So it's a good way to double check this. Alright guys, just got done. After I told you last night about checking the straightness of your arrows and lining up the highest part of the arrow, I just wanted to double check and make sure I was telling you guys the truth. And as you can see here, I've got my paper, what I was shooting through, and I'll get some closer up pictures for you guys, but there are 12 perfect bullet holes in this. After just a little bit of initial tune, there's two shots at the bottom. I had to add a couple twists to my yoke, and then 3 more shots. I had to put 1 twist in my bus cable and take 1 out of my control. And then as you can see here, I have 12 perfect bullet holes, 12 arrows ready to go. Now take in mind this was only from about 4 or 5 yards away from the paper, which is it's still gonna tell you a lot. It's not gonna be the final set in stone tune, but we are very close now. I'll leave a couple shafts bare so I can shoot at 20 yards to compare to fletched arrows. But I am very, very happy with the results so far. Quick and easy way to set up all your arrows exactly the same. I mean, the results speak for themselves here. Every arrow shoots a perfect bullet hole. Not a lot more you can ask for, guys. So now we're ready to fletch, so stick around.